Now look, the statute of limitations is over, so I want to share a story. Oh. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. And there was something called an interim report. Do you remember them? In the middle of the marking period, they send your parents how you're doing. And mine would always be, oh my gosh, I need to pick it up. I'm not showing them this or my life is over. So this is back in the 70s in New Jersey when, you know, people would write checks. And so, you know, your parents would save the checks. And I knew how to get into the filing cabinet and just pull a check. Daddy, your signature was easier to forge than Mommy's. And I would have that tracing paper. Do they still make that? Tracing paper? And I'd trace the hell out of an interim and be safe till the grades actually came out. When I heard about Carrie Fisher, I was like, what? And then her mom, Debbie Reynolds, the next day. And they both leave behind Billy, the daughter of Carrie and the granddaughter. By the way, you know, my connection to, I was never really a Star Wars person, but I was a Debbie Reynolds person. You know, she got me involved in Hot Topics. Oh, well. Let me just tell you, once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. And back in the 70s, her mom, like most people, smoked cigarettes. And back then, even when you were in first grade, you could still go in the store and buy a pack of cigarettes and your mom would be double parked outside the family pharmacy at the Middlebrook shopping plaza. Shout out to everybody in Ocean Township. And I would go in and buy her cigarettes for her. And then she would say, keep the change. And I was captivated with Debbie Reynolds, Liz Taylor, and Todd. Eddie Fisher. Yeah, Todd is Liz's son. Anyway, you know, and the love triangle. The New Edition movie. I don't know what this movie's about. I don't know anybody in here except for young Bashir. I want to see the drug use. Oh, yes. I want to see drug use. And I want to see frequency of girls. Because this is like a lesson for all of us, you know, how it all goes down. Okay, I want to see how they made no money. Oh, no. Oh, no. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. And she was in college in Boston. And she went to Northeastern University and graduated. But her school was right behind, like the projects were right there. A few of the members of New Edition from the projects right there. So we would know them on campus and around town and stuff. And the thing is that it's one thing, you know, to be in a group. But if all you have to show for it are, you know, a pair of sneakers and a moped. Come on, this is back in the 80s. Mopeds were big. Come on. A moped, some sneakers, you know, and some mall jewelry, then you've made no money. But you're so enamored by people, I guess, coddling you that you get ripped off easily. And I just want to see the rip-offishness of it all. Like, how did that go down? There once was a girl named Wendy, and she used to be a flatsy-tatsy, and now she's not. And in 1994, she changed everything with her own money and her own idea and a fantastic DR period. 23, you know what? Oh my gosh, 23 years this month.
March or February? February?
February.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yes.
23 years old. And I'm still not over them. So when you ask why I pull my toggles and why I do my tricks, it's because I like tricks. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. And I gotta tell you something. And she joined a morning show that was already very established, very beloved, and very legendary in Philadelphia at Power 99. It was Carter and Sanborn. The radio station hired me and didn't tell Carter and Sanborn until, like, I'm rolling up in the parking lot. Basically. And that was I guess, you know, disrespectful. I was the Megyn Kelly in this situation. And they changed the name of the show. It was Carter and Sanborn and Wendy. Oh yes. And I know the guys probably resented me being there and whatnot. But, you know, I bring like bagels in the morning and, you know, try to be as nice as possible, you know, because they put me in an awkward spot. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. She's leaving her radio shift in New York. She's blazing her Pathfinder down the street. She gets stopped at the light. First of all, outside the station, there is an unknown named DMX loitering and waiting. And you know, and I was popular on the radio. I didn't know who he was, though. He's like, plus the, you know, I am scurrying to my car and trying to get out, but I got stopped at the first light right there. So he ran up to the car and he gave me his cassette of, yes. If I had just listened to it, I'd be caught up in this. The thing that hurts is that I was so caught up in my own mess, didn't know who he was. I threw it out the window at the next light, and he actually saw me do that and reminded me of it years later. But it's a terrible story.
I'm recently dating someone new. We're from completely different lifestyles. I'm from the suburbs. My parents are extremely strict. He's from the street life. So he's ready to move things to the next level. He wants to meet my parents, be integrated into my lifestyle. And I'm not sure if this is 5 minutes or if this is my future. So should I take that step and introduce him to my parents?
Absolutely not. No, it is not time. Because once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. And she fell in love with a thug cat, too.
Oh, no.
You know, somebody from a different side of the tracks than me and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting this correct?
100% right.
I waited 6 months.
Okay.
And at that particular point, I knew that whatever my parents had to say, I would slam down my wig and leave. Like this is my new guy. You will respect this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did. And you know, 21 years later, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I have been in a long-term relationship with my boyfriend for about a year now, and everything is fine. We've been visiting each other, communicating well.
Long distance relationship.
Long distance relationship. The problem is that I have a cat, Colonel Mustard, who I love.
Aww.
And Colonel Mustard's been with me for 3 years, and it's just been a part of my family for the most part. My boyfriend is severely allergic. We've tried allergy medication, nothing works. Watery eyes, everything.
How old are you, honey bunch?
I'm in my early 30s.
Okay, so you're marriage-minded.
Yes, I am, but I love my cat. He's my family.
Okay.
So my question is, because I'm supposed to relocate and move in with him, do I choose my cat or the boyfriend?
Well, this is the problem with giving advice. If you're gonna ask Wendy, Wendy's gonna be perfectly honest with you. Once upon a time, there was a DJ who traveled all around the world to be on the radio and chasing her dreams. And she had a cat named Bonnie. Oh, Bonnie was my road dog. Then I met a man who I fell in love with, and I didn't even have to think about which one to choose. I gave Bonnie to a girlfriend, take good care of her, and the man is, you know, we're married. He's allergic. And so I'm not gonna tell you what to do. All I'm saying is a cat doesn't keep you warm at night, and a cat doesn't take out the garbage. You know, we all, at some point in our lives, well, many of us, have had a chance to take a dance on the wild side of life. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. Oh, you pull close. She's all innocent. She's escaped to Boston to go to college. Her big mouth parents here in the tri-state, fine. Woefully naive, though, about a lot, but played it off very well. And there was this pimp. True story. I wrote about this in my 2001 autobiography. It's a New York Times bestseller, Wendy's Got the Heat. I've done a lot of living since then, so I'll write more. But I wrote about this because this was where my life could have taken a turn. You know, either I could have been here on the talk show with you or on the track. No. You laugh, I am telling you, this is how it goes down. If you're a piece of cute, and if you go to a school with a big NBA or NFL team or something like that, and I had no idea what this was. I just thought I was going out for a nice meal. You know, I'm a student on a budget. A guy comes past, dressed very, very nicely, a natty dresser with a big Cadillac. I lie to you not, a Cadillac. And Northeastern is very accessible to outside people because it's right there on Huntington Avenue, and then the quad is right there, and you see all the cute girls and guys walking across to catch the tea or go back to their... Anyway, so this guy, I'll call him Zip. All right, his street name is Honey Dip. To be honest with you. Much older than me, but very, very handsome. And he, like a beep beep, and I'm walking by myself. I've always been a bit of a loner because I find people to be annoying sometimes. You know, I had my Sony Walkman on coming from class, you know, the radio, I'm crossing the street, beep beep. He's like, hey cutie, you know, would you like to have lunch? Yeah. Nobody wants that dining slop anymore. And he just got a Cadillac. I'm not gonna tell my parents about this, but let me just go on this adventure. So I changed, and the best thing you have when you're in college is a pair of Bass shoes and some Levi's and a polo shirt. You know, he was dressed like a man. I was clearly dressed like a college girl, you know? This is the innocence of me. So we go out and we eat and everything, and I'm thinking that he's romancing me, like to date me or something or another, but I also realize that he doesn't really have an actual profession. I'm catching from him, he hangs out with all the Boston Celtics. You see where I'm going with this? Yes. The Boston Celtics and the Patriots, but mainly those Celtics. And he was, shall I say, come to find out later on, he was the one to secure us naive college girls into Celtic world. And there are many girls on the campuses, whether it was BU, BC, Tufts, Northeastern. A lot of you college girls watching right now, you better watch out for these older guys who try to pull you in. One wrong move, we could be dead, we could be doped up, we could be whatever. Oh my God. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy, and she was only 13 years old, but looked like a woman. And guys are, not all, but a lot of guys are pigs. You know what I mean? With their hitting on of us. This girl right here, used to, when I'd visit my grandfather, I remember specifically in Elizabeth, New Jersey, there was a pool hall around the corner that he would send me to get his White Owl cigars. And those men in there were disgusting. And then you take the bus to Vogel's Music, near, and the men are disgusting. So all I'm saying regarding young women, we should be able to go wherever we want to go. But we always have to know where the exits are. We always have to have our $20 bill, just in case. And we have to be aware. Once upon a time, there was Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Shirley. My mom. She had a husband, and she still has the husband. A husband, a career, a beautiful home, and a daughter named Wanda. And then 6 years later, she got pregnant with me. And while she was pregnant, her own mother was dying of colon cancer. And after she gave birth to me, my mother had to speed up and down the turnpike because I was raised on the Jersey Shore. My grandparents live in North Jersey to see her mother. So on one hand, she's got tragedy happening, and on the other hand, she's got joy. And just before my grandmother passed away, who I never met, she said, name her Wendy. Out of course, Peter Pan. So what what I've provided for you out there today is my purpose. If you can understand what I mean.